Good morning, boys and girls. Today in reading, we are going to be identifying the main idea and the supporting details, okay? And so when I talk about main idea, I'm talking about what it's mostly about, okay? So when I ask myself for the main idea, I'm asking, what is this paragraph or this reading passage mostly about? When I find my supporting details, those are sentences and details from the text that help support the fact that this is the main idea. Okay? So, if you want to be healthy, you need to be physically active. So, exercise helps make and keep our heart and muscles and bones strong. We have more energy when we exercise and we get stronger. When we exercise regularly, we sleep better and we feel better. So I want you to sit and I want you to think for a second, what are ways you get exercise? Okay. So the main idea of what I just told you was that it is important to be physically fit. Okay. Um, a supporting details is like the benefits of exercise. So my main idea was it's important for me to be physically fit. And I said that my very first sentence. I stated that. And then I gave you details or reasons. I told you what exercise does for you. It helps your muscles and your bones stay strong, okay? So even when you're talking, most of the time you want to tell me the most important part first. And then you want to give me the details, okay? So when you tell me a story, you even want to tell me the most important part and then you give me all the details, okay? So writers do that too. So good readers, they know how to recognize and find the main idea. They ask themselves questions. So what I want to do now is I want to look at this picture for a second, okay? And we're going to talk about and identify the main idea of this picture. So let's look at this picture. I can figure out the main idea by asking myself questions, okay? I notice in this picture that it's a long time ago. I can tell it's a long time ago because I'm looking at their clothes, and their clothes look like something from the past. I can also see that people are doing chores here. So I might ask myself questions to like, what kind of chores are they doing? And I can answer that. It looks like here she's cooking on a stove. It looks like here this is a sewing machine from a long time ago, okay? It looks like here she's making maybe flattening out some bread. So I ask myself those questions. What kind of chores are they doing? Now I want you to look at the picture and I want you to ask a question. Some questions you might ask are, what is the little girl on the floor doing? Um, is this at a family home? Those are some of the questions you might ask yourself, okay? So I want to point at the title here. You see this title here? What does this title read? It says Colonist at Home, okay? So this right here, this title at the top gives me the main idea. So the main idea of this picture is that this is what colonist life was like at home. A supporting detail I have is, well, she's sewing here in the corner of the house. She's making bread or flattening out something for them to eat, okay? So those are my supporting details. So this picture is mainly about what life was like for people colonists long ago at their house. All right? So now I'm going to go to our reading passage for today, okay? This passage is titled Earth's Moon. I want you to notice that Earth's moon has two paragraphs. Okay? That's one and that's two paragraphs. I'm going to read the first paragraph with you, and then we are going to identify the main idea on the next slide. So as I read, I'm going to ask myself questions. So the only paragraph I'm reading is paragraph 1. Many people like to gaze at the moon in the night sky. Let's look at the word gaze. What does that word gaze mean? I think that gaze means to look because people like to look at the moon. So I think gaze means to look. The moon is much smaller than Earth. The distance across the moon is about 21,000 miles. And here in this parentheses, it just measures it in kilometers. You don't really have to read that part. You can skip it, okay? While Earth is about 7,900 miles. So the difference between the Earth and the moon is the Earth is 7,900 miles and the moon is 21,000 miles. So that tells me that, hey, the moon is smaller than Earth. The distance around the moon is about 6,800 miles, while the distance around Earth is about 25,000 miles. So the distance around it is a lot different, isn't it? The Earth is a whole lot bigger. About 49 moons could fit inside Earth. That's a lot of moons going inside the Earth. So I know when you look up at the moon at night, you think that it's larger, but it's not, okay? You're going to read paragraph 2 by yourself, and you're going to identify the main detail later by yourself. But we're going to do paragraph 1 together, okay? So in paragraph 1, I noticed that over and over again, it kept talking about how much larger the Earth was than the moon. So I think that's the main idea because it kept saying over and over how much larger the Earth was than the moon. So I think that's my main idea. So I'm going to put my answer in there for you, okay? So I'm going to start it out with the main idea is that Earth is much larger than the moon. That's my main idea for the first paragraph. Now for my supporting detail, it has to be a sentence from the text. So I'm going to go right back up in here and I'm going to scan through here and see which one of these sentences can I use to support the fact that this paragraph is about the Earth being so much bigger than the moon. The one that I really like that sticks out is this one down here. It says about 49 moons could fit inside the Earth, okay? That right there, that detail shows me, hey, the Earth is bigger than the moon. So that's the detail I'm going to use. So I'm going to do it word for word, and I may have to go back and forth so that I can check to make sure I have it. So about 49 moons could fit inside Earth. And that right there supports the fact that the main idea of that passage is that Earth is much larger than the moon. My supporting detail comes from the text is about 49 moons could fit inside Earth. So what you're going to do is you're going to read paragraph 2, and in your box you're going to give me the main idea and you're going to give me the supporting detail for today, okay?